reflected light can be reflected again. An optical instrument or device in which reflected light is reflected again is a periscope. A periscope is a long, tubular device through which a person can see objects that are out of the direct line of sight. By using a periscope, we can see the objects on the other side of a high wall which cannot be seen by us directly. Working of a periscope. Suppose there is a tree behind a high wall which we cannot see directly. We will use the periscope to see the tree now. The upper hole of periscope is turned toward the tree so that the top mirror M1 faces the object. We look into the periscope from the bottom hole in front of lower mirror M2. The light rays coming from the tree enter the eye of the person or observer. It is possible to see the image of tree through the periscope. Uses of periscopes. 1. A periscope is used to see over the heads of a crowd, say, as in a football match. 2. A periscope is used by soldiers sitting in a trench or bunker to observe the enemy activities outside or over the ground. 3. A periscope is used by a Navy officer sitting in a submarine to see ships over the surface of water in the sea, even though the submarine itself may be submerged underwater. Kaleidoscope. The kaleidoscope is an instrument or toy containing inclined plane mirrors, which produce multiple reflections of colored glass pieces or colored plastic pieces and create beautiful patterns. The kaleidoscope consists of 3 long and narrow strips of plane mirrors inclined at 60 degrees to one another, forming a hollow prism and fitted into a cardboard tube. The other end of cardboard tube is closed with 2 circular discs of glass, the inner disc being of transparent glass, clear glass, and the outer disc of ground glass, translucent glass. A number of small pieces of different colored glass or plastic and having different shapes are kept between the 2 glass discs. When we look inside it through the small hole, the colored glass pieces act as objects, and the inclined plane mirrors form multiple images of these glass pieces by repeated reflections, which look like beautiful patterns. Sunlight, white or colored. The sunlight is referred to as white light. The white sunlight actually consists of 7 colors. Activity. Take a glass prism and place it on a table in a darkened room. Place a white cardboard screen at some distance behind the prism. Allow a thin beam of sunlight coming through a tiny hole in the window to fall on the prism. We will see that the beam of white sunlight splits on entering the glass prism and forms a broad patch of 7 colors called spectrum on the white screen. The splitting up of white light into 7 colors on passing through a transparent medium like a glass prism is called dispersion of light. Rainbow in the sky is a natural phenomenon showing the dispersion of sunlight. The human eye. Eye is one of our most important sense organs. The eye enables us to see the various objects around us. The main parts of the human eye are cornea, iris, pupil, ciliary muscles, eye lens, which is a flexible convex lens, retina, and optic nerve. Construction of the eye. Our eye is shaped like a ball. The front part of eye is called cornea. Cornea is made of a transparent substance and it is bulging out. The light coming from an object enters the eye through cornea. The main function of cornea is to protect the eye, but it also helps in focusing some light by its converging action. Just behind the cornea is the iris. Iris is the colored part of the eye. The iris has a hole at its center which is called pupil. Pupil appears like a dark spot in the center of iris because no light is reflected from it. Iris controls the amount of light entering the eye by adjusting the size of pupil. The iris is actually that part of the eye which gives the eye its distinctive color. When we say that a person has green eyes, we mean that The color of iris in that person's eyes is green. Behind pupil is the eye lens. The eye lens is a convex lens made of a transparent and flexible material like jelly. The eye lens is actually a living lens because it is made up of transparent living cells which allow light to pass through them. The eye lens is held in position by ciliary muscles. The ciliary muscles can change the curvature of eye lens and make it thin or thick according to the need of the eye. The eye lens is a flexible convex lens whose thickness and hence focal length can be changed by the action of ciliary muscles. The retina is a screen on which the image is formed in the eye. The retina is behind the eye lens at the back part of the eye. The retina is attached to optic nerve. The optic nerve carries the image formed on retina to the brain in the form of electrical signals. The space between cornea and eye lens is filled with a viscous liquid called aqueous humor, and the space between eye lens and retina is filled with another liquid